Jenny Aldretti with the Realtor Hive and Jorge Aldretti.
We are so excited to come to you today. So first, we're going to talk about a little market update, and then we're going to talk about why sometimes realtors are staying stagnant in their production currently and what they can do about it.
As what mortgages are doing, thanks to oil dropping below 100, interest rates are hovering around the 6 to 6.25% on a 30-year fix.
Other news, a lot of people have been saying that the first-time homebuyer age is 40, when in fact, you really need to take a look at that number. It's probably more likely close to 34 to 36. The reason being is that whenever, who was it, realtor?
Yeah, the National Association of Realtors, they conduct a survey, and the younger couples and the younger home buyers are not filling out those surveys. So it's a little skewed as far as what the numbers are, but definitely there is a difference in age nowadays for first-time home buyers.
So it absolutely can happen younger. It just requires some planning and some education for the client. Now let's talk about why realtors often get stuck in their production, why they feel stuck, and why this hits a big nerve. Most likely because a lot of agents feel this way. Your environment is everything. So one of the main reasons why agents feel stuck is because they don't have a growth environment. Even if they're part of a brokerage, maybe they don't meet with the team very often.
Real estate can feel lonely. Agents wake up without strategy, structure, accountability, and just a path for growth.
It's really important that you find a community that has a similar mindset as you that helps move you forward, like the Realtor Hive. That's what we're here for, to be your growth partner. So one thing I recommend that I was talking to Jen about is we realize most people aren't former teachers. And something that's really difficult when you're in real estate and it does feel lonely is your schedule. How do you create a schedule? What are you supposed to be doing? So just one silly little tip that I recommend is pretend like you're a teacher or you're back in school and that your schedule is from 9 to 4, whatever you want your hours to be. And then think about what you would do each hour, what needs to be done. So treat your schedule like you're back in school and make sure that you have every hour accounted for.
Absolutely. And I love using my calendar. I was horrible about using my calendar for years. And you become reactive to your days instead of being proactive. You need to wake up and know exactly what you're going to do, the activities that are going to be income generating activities. That's one of the biggest things that we talk about in the Realtor Hive is how to simplify that, right? What kind of activities you need to be doing on a day in, day out, and make sure you're putting them in your calendar. Because before, all this years I worked without a calendar. I just wrote it down all school just on a notebook. And now I operate fully from a calendar perspective. And I try to have my calendar as full as I can every single day.
I look at my calendar right before I go to bed. What meetings do I have tomorrow? That helps me get in the mindset that tomorrow I already know what's coming. And like Corey said, I can then be proactive instead of reactive. Let's go on to the second reason why agents feel stuck.
One of the most common things that we constantly see is that agents are doing busy work without doing income generating activities or income producing activities.
One simple thing you can do is just look at what you're doing this week and just take a quick mental note. We're going to say A time is income generating activities, meaning they directly get clients sent your way. B time are working in your business. So for instance, as important as it may be, working on your newsletter or your CRM, just take note as you're walking through your day. How much A time do you do and how much B time do you do? And if your B time is way outweighing your A time, that may be a reason why your real estate production is stuck.
Be effective, be purposeful, be intentional. Every single conversation that you're doing, talk to top producing agents in your community, in your broker shop, even if they're at a different
Almost
brokerage, right?
especially if, right?
Yeah,
You're
I
getting a
mean,
different perspective.
and most people are not going to do it. That's the reality of it. But those that do it end up being more successful. Try to grab one thing and implement it into your business today. Just one idea. And then next week, try and grab something else. When you invest in yourself, when you join a community, when you join a coaching environment, that's putting more knowledge in your system and makes you a better producer.
So, if you're the type of person who likes to go to a ton of different classes and learn a bunch of different things, but you're not implementing, then it's not helping you. So, realize there's not a magic bullet. Like you said, take one thing, implement it this week. If you join the Realtor Hive, we have everything that you need to do every single week and day.
So talk a little bit about that as far as, when people join the Realtor Hive, what should they expect to reach agent, right? Because we do it for both agents and for loan officers. But as an agent, when you join the Realtor Hive, what is it that they are going to be experiencing, that first week or every single week?
Absolutely. So I think the first thing is when you join, you automatically realize you're not alone. You have a growth partner. So you join with your Hive lender, who is the lender that is sponsoring your membership. That's why we're able to provide all of this amazing coaching and content at no cost. So I would expect to meet with that lender. They're going to strategize with you as to what you're doing, what's working, what are your ultimate goals. So then they can communicate with the Realtor Hive, AKA the Gens. What do you really need to be focusing on versus all of the different tools that we provide? On Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Central, and we provide you with all of your income generating activities that you need to be doing that week. And so we literally are like, here are your 3 choices, pick one. And then we also have a monthly challenge, and we give you 1 step in that. And then we have a daily Hive flow, things that you should be doing every single day in your business that take 10 to 20 minutes. When you can say, okay, these are the 2 things I have to do this week, along with my daily Hive flow, it makes your business so much more simple and easy to be consistent with. More than that, though, you walk into a community, you start hearing from others what's working, what's not, and we start giving each other information that you wouldn't get anywhere else. So that real estate is lonely starts to go away because you have a community right away. And then we also provide all of your content. So we're talking about your posts on social media. It's not bad to post on social media or show open house. It is if you don't have a strategy. So what we do is we provide you with your content, your marketing content with that strategy to save you time.
So like Jenny said, when you join a community, it can create that success for you because you are becoming a member of individuals that want to grow.
You get to leverage everyone's knowledge instead of just relying on your own.
So as far as simplifying things, right? Because we as salespeople, we tend to just get overwhelmed with a bunch of information being thrown our way. But to gain more knowledge, truly, I cannot have distractions, right? That's my biggest thing. So I either do it at the beginning when I wake up. It's one of the first things I do is just read some stuff from that I decide to choose to read on my phone as well, or afterwards, right? Once I'm done with my work. But when we're in the Hive and it's, man, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that. It's important for agents to know that you guys have simplified that to a way that those activities may take an hour and a half of your entire week, but they're income generating activities. And that is so critical for you to understand. You got to network, you got to be purposeful with your conversations, purposeful with your time, and listen to this income generating activities that they provide on us every single week of the year.
So we follow the Beeline, which is our Beeline success plan. So every week we have a different theme based on the letter. Based on that theme for the week, we give you different options. We are very strategic. You're going to set up one coffee appointment with this particular person. Here's why, and this is what you aim to get out of it. And so we make sure that everything you do is with strategy versus just running around and figuring out as you go.
But one of the things that changed my career was understanding what was the number one income generating activity that I would do that bring in deals and close deals. Understanding what was my best skill. Our strategy calls with agents all the time is, what is it that you do so great that you generate leads? And when you understand that, you multiply that in your day. The biggest part of your day has to be doing that specific activity. Understand your market, understand what's around you, understand what kind of loan programs.
So let's review. One of the reasons why people get stuck is they're lonely. People get stuck is they don't have a community. So come join us. Make sure you're plugging in consistently. A lot of agents, they join and they're like, this is going amazing. Then they get busy in their business. So they quit showing up to the meetings. And then what happens to their business? It starts to plateau again. So you got to show up in your community consistently. The second thing is
part of your calendar. Just got to put it on your calendar as the focus for that specific hour.
100%. The other thing was making sure you're not just focusing on busy work. Look back at this week when you're done. What's your A time activities? What are your B time activities? And then like Corey said, what are you best at? What are your income producing activities that you are truly skilled at so you can multiply those?
I love a quote that I heard is that if you're an agent trying to grow your business, you don't need more motivation. You need the right environment. And that is completely true. It's sometimes that environment that's going to get the best out of you or the worst. You have the power to choose your environment.
Absolutely. If you want to join the Realtor Hive, go to www.therealtorhive.com. You can click join now. It's free. And then when it says, how did you hear about us? Just make sure you say the podcast.
We look forward to hearing from you and seeing you have an incredible 2026.